Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. There is this thing that many practice now, and I mean, they have for centuries, but more and more people are open to this. And it's one of those things that can change your life, move you forward, make you realize things that you didn't previously, give you more clarity. I finally realized it myself, and that is spiritualism. Practicing this thing, by the way, side note, let's get it out of the way right now. That doesn't mean religion. Can it? Sure, if you wanted to, but a lot of people take spiritual religion, put them together. Not necessarily. And there's nothing wrong with adding it in or not. How about somebody that can walk that journey with you as a spiritual coach and so much more? I found her. Tracy Nagle joins us on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Steve, how are you?
Fantastic as well. And I have my definition for this thing called spiritual or practicing something that is spiritual.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say a word. I want to hear how you define it.
Okay. So to me, it's like an individual practice. It has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with having a sense of peace or purpose. It relates to the process of developing your beliefs around the meaning of life or possibly a connection to others. That's really what my definition is.
Hmm. So I'm on your page with that, but also believing in something that's bigger than you.
100%. Absolutely.
And
Yeah, it's mind-blowing big.
yeah, and at first I thought it was a god, and I'm not getting into religion here, beliefs. That's not really important
Right.
for this
Right.
discussion.
Because that doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter what your
Yeah,
religion is.
just to illustrate, whether I believe in a God or not, I believe there's this thing called the universe
Absolutely.
that supports us. Why are we here? It wants the best thing for us. Now, of course, if you talk to my friend Trish, who is very religious, she'll turn around and say, "Oh, yeah, well, who do you think created the universe?" And I said, "I'm not saying that's not true. I'm not even talking about that. But it could be anything that you feel is bigger than you. I don't know why that works. Maybe you could expound upon that. I just know it works for me and works for many others.
Right. Well, I mean, it really does boil down to like faith and leaning into it. So
Mm.
once you start to get these signs, there is kind of like an inner faith and pulling and knowing. And there's these intuitive signs that keep popping up. Like today, for instance, today is 1111 portal. So in the spiritual realm,
Mm.
this is like the penultimate number, a day of portal. This is about manifesting and whatnot. So yes, there is so much that's going on out there. When you think of this bigger picture of spirituality or leaning into it or faith, you'll start to realize that when you open your mind to these things, that these hits or these downloads, this information starts to trickle into you in the craziest ways. So you'll see whether it's a sign, whether it's an angel number or something you ask
Ah,
for a sign. These things just start to pop up. You have to follow them. Really, it's just like a little paper. You got to follow the trail.
like breadcrumbs, that term,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Follow
Hmm.
the trail.
So I never put this together, but I want to share it with you. I can't believe I didn't put this together, but since my mom passed 5 years ago,
Mhm.
and I had a great relationship with her, I feel I'm even closer to her now because I will ask for signs, and I've talked about it here before. They are so specific. Like
Right.
I'm skeptical, like I
Right.
need specific to the point, and it's on my wall right here, the
Right.
password to my modem. I said, Mom, send me a sign. It's been a while that things are cool and everything's gonna be all right. The password is 4 digits dash rows dash 2 digits. It's her name. And that's
Right.
just one of many things that are very specific when I ask for a sign to get it. I just thought it was like, you know, mom's around and that's
Right.
great and supports. But just what you just said, Tracy, and I never connected it. Maybe it's because I've become more spiritual and I'm more open to seeing it and receiving it. Does that make sense?
You absolutely, and you have to be like your mind must be open to this process. That's where people start to ask questions. What is going on? You said it as well. What's going on? There has to be something bigger out there. I think we're crazy to believe that there isn't something bigger or more that's going on out there too many things have happened.
Mm,
And you talk about signs, and the universe wants signs. They want details and requests from you. They want to prove to you this is real, this is out there. So while many people have a sense of spirituality, it just keeps growing and evolving, and it turns into like this amazing self journey of self-discovery and healing. So it's a pretty powerful thing that happens when you go through a spiritual awakening.
Oh, now we're in a different territory.
We sure
Spiritual
are.
awakening. Okay. So I've heard from others that some experience a spiritual awakening where it's big. Like it can be rather unpleasant. Somebody told me it lasted almost a year. I was just not, I mean, days couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah,
That's over to the side over here. However, when it all was done,
yeah,
what a game changer.
yeah.
Fabulous life. Then there's others that have a spiritual awakening, as I've heard, that, it's just you become more spiritual.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
And truly, everybody's journey is subjective. But that's truly what mostly happens. What I see with people that I talk to and work with is the more that they lean into this, the more that they find a great sense of peace and purpose and fulfillment. And they start to see the things that we talk about. They start to realize that there is something else going on out there. Something's listening, something's going on. I don't know
Mm,
what it is, but I'm ready for it. I think it's very cool. It's fascinating.
mm. Tell us about your journey. What got you here? What made you spiritual? What made you want to help other people with this?
Okay, I mean, it starts back from being a little kid. I kind of knew that I was a very spiritual person as a child, uh, kind of like an extrasensory thing. Dealt with that my whole life, but what really led me into this was getting tossed out of corporate America a few years ago. You hit rock bottom. You realize that life can spit you out in a moment, right?
Hmm.
You have to figure out what next steps are, and when you're kind of at that point. And you think, man, I have a really great background. I have really great colleagues. I have really great income, but nobody is hiring. Nobody's giving you any attention. I hit rock bottom. I absolutely did. And that's when you start to say, hey, I need to do some inner work and do some researching and investigating. And that's truly where my main um, path to spirituality began. That's when I began devouring information a few years ago, and led me here today. So
Mm,
it's been a crazy and wild journey. Just here to tell people, don't give up. Doesn't matter if you get spit out by corporate America. Does not matter.
mm. Well, great point. There's no loyalty anymore. It's not
Um,
like, two generations back where I've been working there 40 years. They gave me the gold watch and it's still happening. No,
yeah,
not anymore. Not anymore. Um, would you say you had a spiritual awakening?
100%, 100%. And I'm still going to be a student of the universe forever. There's far too much to know, far too much to learn. I will absolutely be continuing, and it's so fulfilling, and it is such a peaceful thing to go through at this point. I mean, I hit the rock bottom. I've done the inner work. I've done all the things that you need to, the things that I would train my clients to do to get to where you are. It's a lot of work. It's taxing. It can be traumatizing, if
Mm,
sometimes, like you said, somebody said that it took them a year, couldn't get out of bed. These things actually happen. It can physically manifest in just being still and asking your body to rest. So there's a
mm.
lot that goes on with it. And I'm here to be that beacon, that guide, that mentor, that coach, kick you in the butt, make you get up and get going.
Would you say once you're open to spiritualism, that stuff makes sense? Like
Absolutely.
the synergies between people. Oh, oh, that's weird that that happened. And now
Mhm.
that connected to that, and then that person over there, where you may not see the connections.
Absolutely. Many miracles every day. And you kind of have to look at it as that. I mean, we kind of initially think of miracles as these grand, biblical things. But when you think about it, when you ask for, I want to see a blue dump truck today, and all of a sudden a blue dump truck's come past you, or these signs and synchronicities, these are, I kind of say these are all little mini miracles. These are things that you've asked the universe for. These are amazing little gifts and tidbits that you have to listen and pay attention. It's all around you every day, all around you every day.
So I want to get to the process, how you help people, but one question on what you just said. I'm a believer in ask for a sign, you'll get it. I asked
Right.
for my mom. I've never thought to ask the universe for something, sign, support. Um, how do you do that? I feel like a lot of us don't know, or we're kind of like we're in a GPS world where
Yeah.
I just get in, I press a button, or say, take me here, and you follow the instructions.
Yeah.
What are the instructions?
Yep. Here's my instructions. I'm going to tell you to go onto YouTube and pull up some amazing like solfeggio frequencies. All right. There's 9 common frequencies, puts you in this harmonious, beautiful state and
Mm,
sit there and just kind of like, just get in a peaceful state of mind and just literally say, Dear universe, I am open and ready to receive your abundance. I am open and ready to receive your miracles, your flow of life, whatever it is that you're asking for. You literally just can stand there and ask it, just like beautiful affirmations every day. The universe is there for you to speak to. The universe can be considered source. It can be considered God. It can be considered your angels, guardians,
mm.
archangels. It can be so many different things for each different person.
So, when it comes to you coaching somebody with spiritualism, does that also include things like practicing gratitude and things like
Absolutely.
that?
I live by a state of gratitude anymore. That
Mm,
is one thing that it taught me is you living in a state of gratitude for all the things that come at you, grounding yourself, getting rid of your ego. That's the things that I'm going to work on people with is like getting rid of your ego, shedding all of these things, grounding yourself, practicing gratitude. Learning to make peace with yourself, own your bad shit, own your karma, take care of your business.
hmm.
There's a lot of self-healing that's got to go on. That's part of the process is to knock that stuff out of you. Self-healing is huge part of it. And
Yeah.
owning your bad behavior, owning things that you did in the past, good, bad, or indifferent, owning it, clearing it up, and moving forward.
So I'm seeing this in a whole different light. I've never met a spiritual coach, and all of these separate things we're talking about, I've been working on practicing along the way, but it comes from all different areas, metaphysical, energy, on and on and on. You're the one-stop shop for all of that.
Absolutely. My brain never stops. So, no, everybody's in for a great treat with me. I'm a lot of fun. I'm a ball of energy. I can be fiery, but I'm passionate. I'm deeply passionate. This called me. I didn't think I woke up one day and said, I just want to be a spiritual guide. It called to me. And so this was part of my awakening. This is part of my journey where everything that has happened to me over the past few years led me to this moment. And I want to be that beacon. I want to be that light. I want to be that coach, that cheerleader, whatever you want to call me for those people out there that are like-minded.
Hmm. Did this happen for you because of an event or something in your life that was big that set you on this path as well?
Yeah, well, started from childhood. I knew that there was something going on in my background from childhood. I knew that I'm a twin. My
Oh,
sister and
by the way,
I.
so am I.
Yep. Are you a twin? Okay.
Yeah,
Fraternal or identical?
fraternal
Fraternal as well. I have a twin sister. Do you have a twin? Is this boy or girl twin?
twin sister.
Twin sister. Fantastic.
How funny.
Um, so yeah,
Oh, wait a minute. Synergy. There's a
absolutely.
I'll bet you if we keep going, we'll find other things because there's no coincidences, and I think you'll agree with that.
Right.
What are the chances of the bazillions of people on the planet and on a podcast and twins,
Right?
right?
Absolutely. And there's all already like power in being a twin, as you may know.
Mm,
So mine started in first grade. My sister and I are in the same classroom together, and we would take a test, and the teachers were like, "You're cheating." But we weren't. So they separated. My apologies for that. They separated us and it's continued. So we would get the same questions wrong the same way. And they were convinced. That's when they started to realize something was going on. And we started to do some kind of like unique things. Fast forward over the years, and we did realize that there was some empath, intuitive nature to us, some
mm,
extrasensory nature, especially
hmm.
between my sister and I. It's so
Wow.
much fun. We have so much fun with it, honing and developing that constantly as we speak. Do you have any form of ESP with your sister?
I don't believe so, but we've never deeply gone down that road. And we're different people in the belief of these things.
Okay,
And maybe she hasn't been, it took me, I've always believed in energy. I've worked with some of the biggest, best psychics on the planet, helped launch their career. I didn't try to, it just happened.
right.
So I was a believer in energy and that kind of stuff. But, it took a life change for me to absorb all this other stuff. And I think they say when the student is ready, the teacher shows up. So all of that stuff showed up and everything that we're talking about, practicing gratitude and all of it. But I really should circle back with my sister and just try and, I'll drop hints, things like that.
Absolutely.
But
Because it's there. I think we're all intuitively psychic. I think we are all
agreed.
innately psychic and we all have powers that we kind of suppress, right? And when you're a kid, the
Mm,
veil is so much thinner. And
yeah.
I think they're so much more open and receptive to those things. My granddaughter said something this weekend that blew my mind. She said, I fly at night and then I come back to this house. Now, where would a 3-year-old pick that up from, right? Where would a 3-year-old just conjure that up from?
That's
And
cool.
I have to believe that it's some sort of astral projection or outer body something because she was very specific about what she was doing and had fun when she would be flying and would come back to the house. So there's something going on out there.
Yeah.
I think that it's the most fascinating work that I've ever done. I'm truly inspired by so many people that have been my beacons of hope on social media because you start to look for places to go. What am I going to do? What does this mean? There's so many people out there. I'm one of many. I'm not going to resonate with everybody, and I don't need to, right?
Mm,
You just need to have the right people come to you. Like I said, I might be looking for my Gen X people just simply because we're kind of this indestructible, group of latchkey kids who you reach in that age where you're going, maybe there's something else out there.
something more out there for me,
Yeah,
or you feel it.
yeah. Yeah, you
You
feel it.
you're doing life every day. It's all good. It's all cool. No problem. But there's something inside that says there's more for me, but I don't know what it is. I don't know how to find it. It's called
Right.
spiritualism.
Yeah,
And a final thought in that spiritualism gives you faith.
right,
Oh, hold on, though. We said we weren't going to go to the religion road.
right.
I found it gives you faith in yourself.
Absolutely. And that's what it's truly about, your self-love, self-belief. And the more that you radiate that beauty and that love and that self, belief, the more that you're just going to be better in every aspect of your life.
So cool. Game changer, people. I know it's woo woo. Yeah, I agree.
Right?
However, once you figure it out, feel it, harness the power of it, and
That's
all the
right.
things that we're talking, and there's lots to talk about. Next time we get together, right down from gratitude and the practice thereof, and what to do. Forgiveness. There's another one that we could
Absolutely.
hit up. Yeah. What's the best way, Tracy, for people to find you?
Right now, the best way is going to be on social media. Instagram is going to be the Shift dot Spiritual Coach, and Facebook is going to be the Shift Spiritual Coaching. Come over, find me, follow me. I'm going to post some fun content. Some courses are going to be coming up soon. Things are happening in the background, but for now, let's just get this ball rolling. Let's get the party started.
For
I'm here
sure.
to be a beacon for everybody.
And shift is such a great word to describe all of what we're talking about. It really
100%.
is.
That's how it kind of evolved as I went through my own shift, and I thought this just is so apropos.
It's so funny when you say, I went through my own shift. And it sounds
Right?
like another word, but
Right?
kind of the same in a way.
Absolutely.
Tracy, fantastic talking with you. Love your energy. It is, I can feel it. It's infectious, the positivity, and your purpose has been nailed by helping others with this. It's a game changer. Looking forward next time we get together.
Thanks, Steve, so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Have a great day.
You too. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.